Call of Booty. I mean duty. Bops 6. BO6. Blops 6. COD. So many different names for Call of Duty. Game was okay. Just another campaign. Didn't play the zombies or multiplayer because they're always usually, at least with these modern ones, they're all kind of the same thing. I know in this one they like, oh, now there's omnidirectional. Like, what is that? How does that correlate over to like controls? Because when you think of omnidirectional, I think of like wheels and moving. It's like defying gravity. I just can't see. I haven't tried it yet, but I can't see it being very different. Like eventually I'll probably, whenever I get back into multiplayer, I'll try it out for like a day, and then zombies as well, just to say I did it. But it wasn't really a priority. Same with Warzone 2, I never tried that yet. But I don't know, the campaign, the only other Black Ops games I played was 3 and 4. And 3 was good, 4 was just multiplayer, but it was interesting. I don't know. Black Ops, it's really cool and edgy and exactly what you would expect, but it's always kind of, it's weird too, because there's really good shows that are about Spec Ops, Black Ops, whatever the difference is. Special Forces, Navy SEALs. Like, what was that show called? SEAL Team? SEALs? Lioness? Obviously all the movies too. Was it 13 Soldiers or Last Hour, whatever it's called? God, Act of Valor, that's a good one. I don't know, just I have this idea of what like Black Ops is, and then but you mix it with the Call of Duty DNA, and it's just this weird, like, they do dive in a lot to the CIA and, you know, other stuff, and it's always like this like futuristic but not modern, crazy technology and armor and weapons. And what throws me off the most about, and then I guess you can put Cold War in there too. Cold War is really good. I liked Cold War. It's very, it felt so original, and like the pacing and the characters and the atmosphere and the vibes and the energy, and between just 3 and then this one alone, it's like the other Call of Duties make so much sense. They know what it is that they're doing and they go for it and they get in there. But this one's kind of like, it's almost like, well, it is a very distinctive, special. As cool as Special Forces is, there's not really a lot to it. Like, there's not as much to work with, I guess, right? Because it's pretty self-explanatory. You go in and you do your thing and get out, and I mean, they nail it as best as they can, but it's always, it just doesn't feel right. But I guess if I wanted like a more realistic Black Ops type thing, I mean, there's plenty of other games to go to for that. You just gotta find them. They're kind of hidden. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I had a better time with like Modern Warfare 3 and 2 and modern, like all the other, pretty much any other series that they do. Like Black Ops always feels kind of empty and hollow, and which I guess in a weird way it makes sense, but I just always feel like there could be more. They could be doing more. I don't know. And it's not even like going around. I like the missions. I like I don't have a problem with what it is that we're doing, the gameplay, the settings, anything particular. What trips me up is the whole when things get weird, when there's always like this kind of like drug thing or chemical or mind control, MK Ultra, when they get into that side of things, it is very different. It is what sets this apart from most of the other CODs, is that they try to go in this very different direction and try to, but it's funny though, because I'll say like, okay, it's very hollow and plain and simple and kind of boring. Well, it's very entertaining still, sure, but it's almost like they're depending on that trippy side of stuff, LSD and... It's like, dude, if I wanted to play a trippy psychological game, man, especially when they try to mix like horror elements into it, I'll just go play a psychological horror survival game, you know? I just don't want that in my Call of Duty games. Like, I come to this series, this franchise, for a reason. And then it'll be like, oh, okay, this is cool, I'm into this, good entry point, good starting intro. The game starts off solid and then it just gets weird and then goes back to, it's just confusing. I like that they explore that side of things and like, hey, we're capable of doing this stuff, and the fact that they do other things as well, Warzone, zombies, multiplayer, like, you'll always see them kind of trying to implement that into their campaign, but it's like, it's all separated for a reason. Just leave the campaign alone. When they're trying to bank on zombie elements into the campaign, it kind of just ruins it, because there's no distinction there. There's no... it just bothers me. And these games aren't cheap, and whether it's day one or on sale or when they drop to their lowest like $20 mark, or there's still, I don't know, there's always gonna be that premium. You get what you pay for, you get what exactly you expect. You come to Call of Duty for a very certain kind of vibe. But then I feel like I get ripped off or scammed when they're kind of like banking on other elements of their other modes and then turning it into something that's not really familiar with what I envision the game being as a whole in general. Like, when you kind of put it all together, and especially now because they're trying to combine all their games in one, like all their modern ones, like it's all part of the same menu. And like, I just got rid of all my old Call of Duties because I don't play them anymore. I played them that one initial time. I tried out the multiplayer, the whatever else was there, and they clogged up all my storage, and I finally like, I don't need all that. And it's funny because I download this game and I basically, all that crap just gets right back onto my storage, technically. I don't know, I've already kind of complained about all that before, but like all their packs. Like, what is this game, dude? I can appreciate this new direction it's been taking ever since 2019 Modern Warfare, but man, it's been messy, dude. That's why I like playing these newer games. Funny enough, if that's what they're trying to do marketing wise, make you go play the older games again. They're doing a good job at it, because the older games had so much more charm and they were so individualized, and These games now just blend in so well together. They're expensive, and yeah, they look good and this and that graphics, but they're just way too similar. I mean, thankfully, even just as far as Black Ops goes alone, I still really do like Cold War. I'll recommend that over 3 and 6 and 4 any day. In fact, most of the Call of Duties. As far as the modern ones go, Modern Warfare was good. 2, 3, whatever. What else was there? Vanguard. Really solid, but the storytelling is just so bad. And when this is like a third, I mean a fourth of their game, I don't know. Cutscenes are cool.
Enough! You disobeyed a direct order, Mr. Marshall, when it was clear your op was compromised.
With all due respect, sir, you weren't there.
And the group that compromised you, the Pantheon, you sure that's who they were?
Yeah, that's just being like... It's a COD campaign, you get what... I mean... But for me, literally purchasing the game, downloading it just for this one mode, basically, like obviously, yeah, I kind of take it a little more seriously, or I don't look too deep into like... Because in the past I've also included like the multiplayer and zombies, because it is part of the game, but it's so separated now. Or at least it was more interesting and fun, because you never really know how that's gonna go. The maps, the guns, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing every time, but there's just enough slight changes to make it interesting. But now it's like, the more that I keep playing these newer ones, the more I'm like, okay, I'm just seeing a pattern here. But there, I don't know, there's other good things about the campaign too, like, if the worst I can say about it is the psychological crap, I mean, that's not really gonna make or break playing it at all, but I don't know. The length is good, very cinematic, immersive. You kind of get into it. Another issue, oh my god, I had was the mixing. Like, yeah, there's Treyarch mix, there's TV, headphone, the usual suspect, but my god, I could not get the audio to work. I haven't dealt with this bad audio since funny enough, I think it was, I want to say it was Black Ops 3. Like, I just had terrible luck, like, finding a good balance, and it wasn't even so much the distinction between, like, the effects and the music and the dialogue, the usual master volume. I don't know if it's the cinematic volume or what, but you play the gameplay / when they're just talking and like the cutscenes. But then there's like cut scenes, like the really good looking stuff, like the pre-rendered, not in the gameplay world, but there's gameplay cutscenes, and then there's cutscenes. The cut scenes were so quiet. I don't know if it's just me, but then you go into the gameplay and it's all, you know, Michael Bay loud. It was really annoying. Like, normally the only issue I ever really have is like, oh, music's too loud, effects, voices too quiet. It's always something. Obviously with the effects, with the gunplay, it's always loud because bullets, shooting. But the fact that I had to basically turn it up and down just for the whenever the cutscenes just randomly show up. And I just wasted so much time going into different things too. At the beginning, the menu seemed so simplified. I was like, finally they got rid of all those weird tabs and stuff, all those different. But then you get into the game, and then there's all these other options in the settings. And I'm like, bruh, god damn it. The usual, like, texture thing, it's so weird. And, like, obviously in, like, a streaming or content creation environment, you don't really want to use, like, all these weird enhancements, or you don't want to be using more data or something than you have to with the whole... Like, if the game... I don't get it. They... Like, even on console, they try to make it seem like you have all these, like, PC-like options. It's like, no one's that picky, man, unless someone's playing this every single day. And of course, that's the end-all be-all, like, they kind of have to put that in there, I guess, in a way, sure, but, like, someone's that picky about their sensitivity and this and that, especially on controller, it's like, you know... But it's more or less the same shit, like, okay, turn motion blur off, turn depth of field off. Maybe turn the sensitivity up by 1, turn the aim assist off. Kind of a lot of the usual things I wanted was on there. You know, make the crosshair a certain color, which is always a nice addition. Just the only... I can go through those tabs, I'll spend the time doing that, but I have a problem when I can't even get the audio to just kind of do what I want it to do. And all that tells me is that they just don't mix it well. And the only other game I had problems with mixing was another Black Ops game. What's the problem? Like, out of everything I played, I usually never really have that kind of issue. Like, okay, sure, it might be... Sometimes it can't be helped. It still was perfect, it was like right under my voice, but it was... Well, I haven't really gone back and checked the difference between the cutscenes and the gameplay wise, but at least it was under me regardless, and that was the most important part, but still. Just weird little things, like the game just threw me off the whole time, because, you know, I went into it not knowing anything, no spoilers, I didn't watch anything. But like subconsciously I was hoping there's like, please get rid of the psychological stuff. Hell, if I'm really lucky, make the mixing good. It reminded me of The Last of Us, where there's all these... It's either... They try to implement way too much into their audio. It's like not everyone is playing these games on like a giant TV and this surround sound stereo system and... you know? Like, they always just assume, like, hey, it's a AAA game, you know, people that play this have money and all these things, or all these really nice, big, fancy setups, and really that's not the case at all, especially when it comes to the content creator side. They're using small monitors, headphones. Maybe, like, focus on that a little bit more, because, I mean, sure, your average person's... They'll probably really appreciate those settings, especially if they're tech geniuses and they know what they're doing. But it gets so, like, tedious. It's like, dude, out of all the settings and the general knowledge that I have and use, you know, basic stuff, I can't even figure that crap out. And instead of playing the game, that's what I get stuck doing, is messing around with the settings. That's not fun. But, I guess, yeah, all in all, it is still just a small little thing, just like the psychological stuff, so... But more or less, I mean, yeah, it's more Call of Duty. Not really much else to it. Gameplay is good.
Let's do this!
Engaging.
Target spot.
Alawi's in a black truck. Clear the road. Let's find him fast.
Copy, black truck. Keep pushing up.
What are some other upsides? Their logo's cool. I don't know if they've always had that logo. I don't really pay too much attention. I like their aesthetic. You know, some guy sitting down looking cool. I can always appreciate little things like that, especially like with the glitch with the black bars like covering up his eyes is kind of that you know, sensor thing. Reminded me of Spy Kids, the end of Spy Kids with George Clooney when he had that little black bar and he literally like took it off and just you know, this is Black Ops 6 and Giga Chad, bro, and you know, sensory. This game is so serious. I love it, but Call of Duty's charming because it does have that like comedy relief, and some of the old characters came back, which is good. Some familiar faces and some new ones. It also had like the usual twists and turns, surprises and shocks, and I don't know, it was a fun ride still overall, but the issues I had with it, it was just unfortunate that I even had to go through any of that at all, because like it could have just been that much more of a smoother, flowy experience. Yeah, it's still a good like 2-3 day-ish game, depending. It's very clean. These games do look better every time I play them. You know, it's scary how like realistic, not only the cutscenes, but I mean the gameplay. Wow, yeah. That's what you're paying for though, but it just looks so good. It feels so good. Obviously, a lot of these games being next gen and PS5 and haptic feedback and all that definitely helps, obviously. And yeah, once I got my settings where I wanted to, it felt good. I was happy with most shots I made, and there was one level where it was kind of fucky, but it's expected though. I mean, the thing with these campaigns, it's not always gonna go baby butt smooth. Like, there's always gonna be something, so it's fine. There's one area that reminded me of like the TVA from Loki. Yeah, I like the hub area, which is nothing new. They had that in Cold War too, so it's confusing though. They'll give you like little puzzles. I couldn't figure those out at all. They give you like 3 puzzles, and even in the other games, they'll give you like little stuff to do within that like free roam little area. I couldn't figure any of it out, but I really didn't want to bother like looking it up either. I figured one of them out, and I don't know. Funny enough, it's weird because I'll have a better time in like the little free roam area, just exploring and you know. But it is always kind of this. It's weird because they're trying to make this. What I expect from a COD campaign is like, let me get in point A to point B, get it done, get in, get out, rush so I'm not sitting there shooting guys for too long. You know, go, go, go. That's what the game is. That's the energy it brings. You carry that over to multiplayer especially. That's exactly what it is. So I don't know, I can appreciate that they're trying to make it like an open world-ish RPG, especially with the mechanics they put in with this game, is it's like, oh, there's actually some incentive for like looking around the levels more. But it's kind of a tease though, because it's like that would be really cool, but COD doesn't do that. I would love like a Call of Duty quality open world game. That'd be really cool. Because I didn't really appreciate the Tom Clancy games, which basically did that. Battlefield always kind of just did the same thing, really. Go into a mission, get it done, and get out. Obviously, Battlefield's a whole different vibe, but that's as close as you're gonna get, especially the multiplayer, to just kind of this more free roam battle royale type. Not really battle royale, but you know, not really much into the twitchy, quick TTK and repetitiveness and yeah, that would be cool. It's an idea. I know they've done a battle royale. Well, yeah, Warzone. We have all these different modes, man, but I wish they'd do something different. I feel like they need to really like reinvigorate the formula. Instead of just coming out with all these bullshit sequels every year or whatever they're doing now, just like do something cool, man. I know it's broken, don't fix it or whatever, but just it wouldn't hurt them to be a little bit more innovative and creative and some imagination. And it's always a thought. Do some evolving and growing and do something unexpected, and because I think that could really, you know, reinitiate the franchise. Kind of, I mean, they kind of did that with 2019. Like it's similar to like what RE did with the RE engine. Like they really kind of did something new and modern and special, but it just kind of lacks the like from what I want out of it. Because I'm not sitting here, okay, I'll do the campaign, oh, fuck with zombies here and there, oh, I'll stick to... I know people like that, who will literally play this religiously every single day. It blows my mind. Like, hey, if that's what you want to do, it's your life, do whatever you want, fine, whatever, but... people just like military games, shooting games, I can understand that. I guess when it comes down to it, you're just gonna have to find another game that does exactly, you know, what I'm trying to kind of look for. But the difference is I don't want some like cheap indie, weird random game. I want Call of Duty. But they probably won't do anything like that because they're like, well, because of what we do, that's why we're able to put our price point the way that it is and have this kind of quality assurance. And it's like, oh, okay, but I mean, even since 2019, how much crap have you guys pooped out, dude? Jesus, man. They have all their old games, they have the games now, fine. Eventually something's gotta change, it's just a matter of when or if. I don't know if that's more like a PS6 type thing, or what are we talking, like Cyberpunk times, they finally do something different? I assume the franchise is gonna be around forever. And Jesus Christ, dude, it's not gonna die out anytime soon. It's been around how long? And okay, the PS5 Pros are out, but like, I guess that doesn't give them an excuse to just do something different. Like, I don't know if the technologies, I don't really know their plan or their... I'm sure they're very set in stone like most devs are in studios, and they kind of just... It is risky when games do something different. It can turn out bad. I know what that's exactly like, but... like the game I'm playing now, it was the first game out of all the games I've played from them, at least or the most recent modern accessible ones, and they tried to do like this very different thing, and it really upset me. But what's the worst that can happen, man? It's Call of Duty. It's a brand at this point. People are gonna purchase their games no matter what they do. They have all the power in the world to do something different. They just don't do it. So whatever. Yeah, Call of Duty. Body Odor 6. 6.